have the District Board as Community Facilities General District Number 1, CFD, Utilities District Number 1, Palm Valley CFD, Number 3, Estrella Mountain Ranch CFD, Centerra CFD, Cortina CFD, Cotton Flower CFD, Wildflower Ranch CFD, General District Number 1, Wildflower Ranch Community CFD, General District Number 2, and King Ranch CFD. All members are in attendance. Ask for acceptance, if I could, ask for acceptance of the minutes of a special meeting of the District Board of a joint CFD held on July 10, 2006. Okay, a motion from Vice Mayor Cavalier and a second from Councilmember Holland. All those in favor signify by saying aye. Aye. Opposed? The ayes have it, 7-0. There are no expenditures to ratify. Are there any communications from the public? Okay, now are any person wish to comment on a non-agenda item? Seeing none, move the consent agenda, and there are no consent items. Now we'll move to business. We have two items on our business agenda, both associated with Estrella Mountain Ranch CFD. Sheila Mills will present. Been a while, Sheila.
Yes. Good evening, Chairman Kavanaugh and board members. We have several people here this evening. We have Scott Ruby, who is our counsel for the CFDs with Gus Rosenfeld. We have a couple representatives from Newland Communities, Phil Luna and Alper Aldi. And we also have our district engineer from Wildan, David Gu. The items that we have on the agenda this evening, we had brought to you on July 10th, 2006, the feasibility report relating to the special assessment revenue bonds, which was adopted at that public hearing. The public infrastructure project is for the feasibility report, had Calistoga Drive Phase 1, which included Calistoga Drive and 4 other smaller collector roads. The feasibility report also included a not to exceed $8,045,000. Scott Ruby will present the items that are on the agenda tonight, so I'm going to pass it over to him.
Good evening, Mr. Chairman, members of the board. I brought a ton of work because I thought you were going to be here till 10. So
I disappoint your clients that you can't bill them twice.
Kind of set myself up for that, didn't I? On this fixed fee matter, I would like to now bring before you. So, regardless of the hours put in,
Mr. time I ever see the attorney lost her words.
I'm totally embarrassed now. I'll turn this over to Rourke. How's that? What you have before you tonight is a resolution of intention and a resolution ordering the work with respect to Montecito Assessment District. That is an assessment district to be formed if you adopt this resolution this evening inside the Estrella Mountain Ranch district. As Sheila mentioned, it is to improve certain roads within that area. This district originally was contemplated that we were going to follow every statutory procedure because we didn't have a waiver agreement at the time that really we were too comfortable with or that wasn't signed by everyone. Since that time, we have been able to get a waiver agreement from everybody where they've waived their statutory rights with respect to notice and hearing, and so consequently we're able to address both of these resolutions this evening. I don't know which resolution is in your packet, but Resolution 06052, if it references the approval of an assessment diagram this evening, we'll wait on that matter and we'll delete it from the resolution and not approve that. Assessment diagram is simply the formal adoption of the plats, basically, the assessment parcels in particular. So, Mr. Chairman, you have before you Resolution 06052, which forms the Montecito Assessment District. It authorizes the assessment bonds to be issued. It establishes the engineer's estimate for this district. It's approximately $8,045,000. We anticipate assessments on each parcel will be $8,000 or less. There are some, most are at 8, and some are less than that. With that, Mr. Chairman, I'll entertain any questions you might have on Resolution 06052.
Okay, let's continue. Any comments from the public? Okay, could I ask the clerk to read the resolution by title only, please?
Okay, Mr. Ruby, just for clarification, we're going to admit then the portion that says approving the assessment diagram.
Mr. Chairman, Madam Clerk, that's correct.
Resolution 06052, resolution of the Board of Directors of the Estrella Mountain Ranch Community Facilities District, City of Goodyear, Arizona, declaring its intention to acquire and/or construct certain infrastructure improvements forming Montecito Assessment District, determining that special assessment revenue bonds will be issued to finance the cost and expense thereof, and declaring the improvements to be of more than local or ordinary public benefit, and that the cost of said improvements will be assessed upon the assessment district, providing that the proposed improvements will be performed and district assessment revenue bonds issued under the provisions of Title 48, Chapter 4, Article 6, Arizona Revised Statutes, and all amendments thereto.
Okay, can I have a motion, please?
Motion to accept Resolution 06-052 as read by the clerk.
Second.
Okay, I have a motion from Councilmember Scott and a second from Councilmember Holland, and that's to accept the resolution as read by the clerk. Further discussion by council?
Mayor, Council, how are the affected property owners going to be advised of the impact of the amounts that are in question, that they're going to be assessed for?
Mr. Chairman, Mr. Sousa, there's a couple of things. Number one, the public report for this property inside the Estrella Mountain District is required to talk about the existence of the district. In addition, there is a specific disclosure document to be signed by every homeowner that moves in, acknowledging that they recognize that they're in a community facilities district, and in particular, there's a discussion there about assessment bonds and the proposed amount and that sort of thing. So every homeowner will receive that. Now, it may be in that stack of documents that they sign when they're acquiring their home, but we haven't found a better way to notify them. And lastly, the assessment will be a recorded assessment lien against their property, so when they review their title report, it will show up there also.
Okay, thank you very much. Thank you, Mr.
Thank you.
Mr. Chairman.
Can I have a roll call vote, please?
Commissioner Sousa,
Aye.
Commissioner Antoniak,
Aye.
Commissioner Scott,
Aye.
Commissioner Holland,
Aye.
Commissioner Lord,
Aye.
Vice Commissioner Cavalier,
Aye.
Chairman Kavanaugh.
Aye.
Passed 7-0.
Okay, we'll now move to the second item on our agenda. And, Mr. Ruby, you have that one too?
Yes, Mr. Chairman, members of the board, again, resolution number 06054 is a resolution ordering the work be performed. And again, this is normally more dramatic because you would have had a passage of time between the resolution you just adopted and perhaps a hearing. Because of the waiver agreement, we're able to proceed to this, and it simply says go forth and perform the work, i.e. install the improvements. These improvements are already under construction.
Okay, thank you. Further comments from the public? Seeing none, could I ask if the clerk would read the resolution by title only, please?
Resolution 06054, resolution of the Board of Directors of the Estrella Mountain Ranch Community Facilities District, City of Goodyear, Arizona, ordering the public infrastructure projects performed as described in Resolution 06052.
Motion, please.
Motion to accept Resolution 06-054 as read by the clerk.
Motion from Councilmember Scott and a second from Councilmember Souza. It's open for discussion. Can I have a roll call vote, please?
Commissioner Antoniak,
Aye.
Commissioner Scott, Commissioner Holland,
Aye.
Commissioner Lord,
Aye.
Vice Commissioner Cavalier,
Aye.
Commissioner Sousa,
Aye.
Chairman Kavanaugh.
Aye.
Passed 7-0.
Okay, we now move to staff summary of follow-up action. Is there any follow-up on the assessment diagram? Is that? Okay. Any inquiries of staff or council? Okay. Thanks. Nice job. Meeting adjourned.